The time is 6 p.m. I would like to call to order the Norwood City School District Board of Education meeting. Today is Thursday, December 14th. The Norwood City School District Board of Education follows a bi-monthly meeting schedule. The first meeting of the month is called our committee meeting. At this meeting, we discuss fully our agenda for the board meeting to be held the third Thursday of each month. As board members, we encourage you to attend, watch, and listen to our committee discussion resulting in action at the board meetings. For full disclosure, our committee meetings and board meetings are always announced, video and audio taped, as well as posted to our webpage for your view. All of our meetings are public and visitors are welcome. Mrs. Camphouse, would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Atwood is absent. Ms. Ballard is absent. Mrs. Rarica?
Present.
Mr. Taylor?
Present.
Mrs. Cole?
Present. Before we move on, I'd like to thank Mrs. Marshall, for bringing the Norwood Orchestra in. We really appreciate it. Some of them have already escaped without me acknowledging that. So thank you guys so much for coming and playing that beautiful music for us. Come back anytime. We love visitors. All right, if everybody would please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, item 1.04 on our agenda tonight. This is the adoption of our agenda. Do I have a motion to adopt?
I'll move to adopt the agenda.
I'll
Our
second.
motion.
Any discussion? Mrs. Camphouse?
Mrs. Rarica?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Mrs. Cole?
Yes. Item 1.05, these are the minutes from the regular meeting held November 16th. 1.06, these are the minutes from the Finance Committee meeting held December 5th. 1.07, these are the committee meeting minutes from December 5th. Do I have a motion to approve 1.05 through 1.07?
I'll move to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
Any discussion? This is going to be very repetitive. Mrs. Camphouse?
Mrs. Rarica?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Mrs. Cole?
Yes. All right, moving on, item 2, this is our presentation and why most of you are here. So 2.01, this is our Rising Star presentation, and I will turn it over to Curriculum Director, Mrs. Chesson, Director of Curriculum.
Thank you, Madam President. We are thrilled today and tonight to honor our Rising Stars for the month of December. So when I call your name, I'm going to ask that you come forward. You're going to receive your certificate from Mrs. Rarica, and we're going to stand up here, and we're going to say some great things about you and take lots of pictures with the board members. So we're going to start with Sharpsburg Elementary and Primary Rising Star student for December is Quentin White. Due to his bravery and concern for a peer, we would like to nominate first grader Quentin White as our Sharpsburg Rising Star. On December 5th, while the students were enjoying their lunches, Quentin noticed a peer was choking. He quickly took action and notified the adult educational aide who was supervising the children. Quentin urgently communicated the emergency. Our class then had a very meaningful discussion about being a true PACS leader. We all agreed that by showing his peer that he mattered and by insisting that the little one get help, Quentin exemplified caring for others and being a true hero and leader. We are so proud of the PACS leader Quentin for his brave actions and grateful that he set such a powerful example for all to follow. For these reasons, Quentin White is truly a rising star. Congratulations. Pretty awesome. Quentin, I'm going to have you stay there though, okay? All right, thank you. Norwood View Elementary Rising Star student for December is Cece Imholt. Our third grade rising star is Cece Imholt. Cece comes to school every day with a smile on her face and a readiness to learn. She welcomes challenges in math and reading and tries her best in whatever comes her way. Not only does she set goals for herself as a learner, she rallies others around her to also be ambitious. She openly encourages her peers to persevere and be better, and they listen. Cece establishes herself as a role model in the classroom, and others follow suit. Not only is Cece a hard worker and a leader, she is kind and she is caring. She is friendly with everyone, peers and adults alike. Her personality fills up the room and she radiates positivity. Everyone can agree that Cece's positive attitude is contagious, and we are so lucky to have her in our third grade class this year. Congratulations, Cece. Williams Avenue Elementary School's Rising Star student for December is Blakely Means. Blakely Means is a fourth grade Rising Star for Williams Avenue Elementary for December. She comes to school each day with positive energy and a smile on her face. During class, Blakely participates in discussions and puts forth a solid effort. She often chooses to work with other students who may be struggling, helping to promote a positive learning environment. Blakely is empathetic to others and displays a great resilience beyond her years. She continues to develop independent problem-solving skills that are essential for her success. All of these wonderful qualities will continue to help her achieve whatever goals she sets for herself. It's students like Blakely who make Norwood City Schools great. Congratulations. The Norwood Montessori School's Rising Star student for December is Adon Lenore. It is with great excitement and joy that we introduce our second grader, Adon Lenore, as the Rising Star for the Norwood Montessori School. Adon was born a leader with a true desire for learning. His love of learning shines through from the moment Adon enters the classroom throughout the whole day. He gets to work right away, choosing work that challenges him to think and easily moves from one work to another with ease, setting an exemplary example for all Montessorians. Adon also represents our three core peace promises by taking care of himself, all living things, and our environment. With his infectious smile, his genuine laugh, and his happy demeanor spread like wildfire to anyone who has the opportunity to be around him. These are just a few of the many reasons why Adon Lenore is our December Rising Star. We are so very proud of you. Keep on shining, Adon. Norwood Middle School's Rising Star student for December is Julian Wilson. We will still go ahead and read the nice things about Julian. Julian Wilson is an outstanding sixth grade student at Norwood Middle School. He excels both inside and outside the classroom. Math and orchestra are his favorite subjects, and he also plays football and soccer. Julian is always prepared for class with a smile on his face. He works hard to master difficult skills and is patient when dealing with his peers. Julian's positive attitude and hard work are inspiring to his classmates and teachers. Julian is truly a rising star. Here's some pictures for our next set of rising stars. We're going to honor some creative arts, some fine arts rising stars for Norwood High School. And this month, we're going to celebrate the rising star students, Montserrat Morales Alcala, Maddie Drenner, and Emma Thomas. Please come forward. We're going to start with you, Montserrat. Montserrat started her theater career as a shy, quiet freshman during Shakespeare's A Midsummer's Night's Dream. Seeing her develop her confidence and her performance skills over the last 4 years have been incredible. Watching her command the stage as a lead role of Donna in Mamma Mia was a testament to her hard work and growth as a student and a young adult. Her ability to lead with humor, grace, and a calming kindness, as well as her dedication to school and her other extracurriculars, are amazing. Congratulations. Next, we have Maddie Drenner. Maddie Drenner is kind, hardworking, and an incredible leader. When we discussed casting her, a sophomore, as the lead role of Sophie in Mamma Mia, we knew that she would be able to step up to the plate and help lead the production to success. We saw her preparedness through her ability to quickly memorize her lines, work on her solo songs on her own time, and working to improve truly every time she was on stage. On top of succeeding in performing, she is also a star student and a fantastic friend. The theater department is very lucky to have her. Congratulations, Maddie. And next we have Emma Thomas. Emma Thomas is a student who attacks every task assigned to her with a fun, positivity, and a cool head. She has a chameleon-like skill to completely dedicate herself to any role in production, and she has the ability to adapt and react pragmatically to anything that may come her way. She joined the theater department as a sophomore and quickly proved that she was willing to put forth in the effort to learn what it takes to be an impressive performer. And we saw an example of this effort from her role as Rosie in Mamma Mia. She is a hard worker in the theater and in school and has a bright future ahead of her. Congratulations. Our athletic Rising Star student for December is Devin Isaac. Devin Isaac Starr has risen in the Norwood Athletic Department over the last 3 years. During his sophomore season on the varsity wrestling team, he earned a second-place finish in the 157-pound weight class at the Miami Valley Conference Championship, which caught the attention of many. Then, in junior season, as a member of the football team, he began to really take off. He earned honorable mention All-Miami Valley Conference as a junior, as a hybrid safety running back, and won the 175-pound division in the Miami Valley Conference Championship with a season record of 29-4. He won his sectional bracket and came up just short of the OHSAA state championship bid. Devin is now putting the finishing touches on what seems to be on the career of a Norwood High School Athletic Hall of Famer. This football season, he has led the team in rushing with 528 yards with 5 touchdowns, and he has also led the team in solo tackles with 37 and total tackles with 55. He was named first team All-Miami Conference, first team All-Southwest District, and now named to the Division V All-Ohio football team as an honorable mention selection. Aside from Devin's on the field or the mat success, he is a delightful young man who is a beacon of light in the Norwood community. He is always positive and can be seen in the hallways of the high school being a positive influence on his peers. It is our pleasure to name Devin as this month's Rising Star, but his star has been in the making for quite some time. Congratulations, Devin. And lastly, we have our district staff Rising Star, Wendy Rosas. Sharpsburg first grade educational aide, Mrs. Wendy Rosas, is our rising star. Each day, Wendy supports our students and teachers. One day recently, a student was choking at lunch. Mrs. Rosas leapt into action and began the Heimlich maneuver. Because of her actions, the child was rescued, and she stated that she simply did what anyone would have done. Mrs. Rosas always humbly takes all of our students' needs seriously and to heart, and on this day, she showed this in a very tangible way. For her bravery, her heroism, and we are so proud of Mrs. Wendy Rosas. She, along with the student who alerted her, truly saved the day, and we are grateful that they did. For these reasons, Mrs. Rosas is most deserving of being our rising star. Congratulations. Congratulations to all our rising stars. Now the board members would like to come forward and shake your hands, and then we'll take a nice group photo. You can just stay where you are at this time. The ed caps, right? Congratulations to all of you. At this time, we're going to ask you to follow Ms. Hadlin in the red and black. And she's going to take some nice family pictures and friends pictures. So all of you that came with your Rising Stars, please go out and take a nice family picture in the lobby. And we thank you all for being with us tonight.
Yeah, we need some positivity like that. That's awesome.
Faith, so you're coming every month to keep the audience sprightly?
How are you? Good. I miss you. I know, right? Anything. Literally, we're like, Toledo. Where would you go? I just want to say hi. Yeah, this is Julia. I know he's in fifth grade. Wow. He's getting tall. Yeah. I don't know. Princeton has a bus service, so it may be easier to get him to and from school. Makes sense. Congratulations. Thank you. We'll take pictures of it.
All right, item 3 on our agenda, this is personnel, superintendent recommendations, and I will turn it over to Superintendent Mrs. Ronan.
Thank you, Madam President. It is a short report tonight. We have one individual, Steve Shira, who is retiring in February. He will be missed, so he was thoughtful enough to let us know early enough so we can find a wonderful replacement, although it will be hard to fill his shoes. Then under 3.02 employment, that's also very short. We just have 2 athletic supplemental contracts for ticket takers, and we're also hiring our winter middle school cheerleading coach. And that's really all I have tonight. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mrs. Ronan. Do I have a motion to approve 3.01 and 3.02?
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Mrs. Camp House?
Mrs. Rarica,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor,
Yes.
Mrs. Cole.
Yes. Item 4 on the agenda, this is our education report, and I will turn it over to Mrs. Rarica.
Thank you, Madam President. Our first item is our next school year's 24-25 district calendar. And if anybody's watching or looks it up, the only major difference I saw is that the spring break will be again the very, very last week of March. If you're into planning that far ahead, I want you to know about it. And we have our student field trips. We have the high school going to NKU and Butler Fairgrounds and Scarlet Oaks, and Norwood View going to Spooky Hollow Farm in January, and Sharpsburg Elementary going to Cincinnati Art Museum. I would like to move to approve our calendar and our field trips.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Mrs. Camp House?
Mrs. Rarica,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor,
Yes.
Mrs. Cole.
Yes. All right, with that approved, we can move on to item 5. This is the Policy Committee report, and I will turn it over to Vice President, Mr. Taylor.
Thank you, Madam President. We have the second reading and the fourth opportunity for discussion of the policies for this month. There's just a few of them. So, all right. Reading Skills Assessments and Intervention, TGRG, IGBEA. Reading Skills Assessments and Intervention, TGRG, IGBEA-R, promotions and retention of students, IKE, instructional materials, IIA, home education, IGCF, compulsory attendance ages, JEA, student withdrawals from school, JECE, student absences and excuses, JED-R, exclusions and exemptions from school attendance, JEG, co-curricular and extracurricular activities, IGD, interscholastic activities, IGDJ, from non-chartered or home education, JECBC, interscholastic and extracurricular eligibility, IGDK, school admission, which is JEC, student fees, fines, and charges, code is JN, food services management / free and reduced price food service, EF/EFB, staff dress and grooming, GBCC, staff participation in political activities, GBG, staff gifts and solicitations, GBI, public solicitations in the schools, KI, distribution of materials in the schools, KJA, administering medicines to students, JHCD, professional staff contracts and staff compensation plans, GCB-1, suspension and termination of professional staff members, GCPD, part-time and substitute professional staff employment, GCE, professional staff development opportunities, GCL, emergency closings, EBCD, board employees and officers, DH, deposit of public funds, DM, cash change balances called petty cash accounts, DGB, board member conflict of interest, BBFA, testing programs, IL, intra-district open enrollment, JECBD, truancy, JEDA, employment of students, JK, college credit plus, IGCH-R. We are rescinding homeschooling, IGCF-R, and the policies that are to be reviewed, parent and family involvement in education, IGBL, Title I programs, IGBJ, admission of homeless students, JECAA, and admission of homeless students dispute resolution process, JECAA-R. I'd like to make a motion to approve the second reading of the policies.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All right, so this is the second and final reading, so these will become policy if this were to pass, which I think it will. Any other discussion? All right, Mrs. Camp House?
Mrs. Rarica?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Mrs. Cole?
Yes. All right, moving on, item 6, this is the Building and Grounds Committee. Ms. Ballard could not be with us this evening. It looks like we have one request for our facilities. The city of Norwood's requesting the auditorium for their swearing-in ceremony on January 1st, 2024, from 9 to 2. Do I have a motion to approve this request?
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All right, Mrs. Camp House?
Mrs. Rarica?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Mrs. Cole?
Yes. All right, moving on to item 7. This is our Finance Committee report, and I will turn it over to our treasurer, Mrs. Camp House.
Thank you, Madam President. 7.01, Finance Report. Our monthly financials, CFO report, and change order listings are attached for your approval. 7.02, Appropriation Resolution and 412 Certificate. Our budget for the current year. 7.03, a depository agreement with PNC. This is just to renew our contract with PNC Bank. 7.04, lowest bidder for the elevator project. At our bid opening on Monday afternoon, we had one company provide a bid for View and High School Elevators Modernization Project. The bid was below estimate, and it is a company we've worked with before, so we are recommending the board accept the bid for $129,710 for Views Elevator and $141,920 for the high schools from American Elevator. 7.05 donations, some nice donations. $1,000 from Mary Ann and Tom Collins for Williams for the high school marching band. $372 from Norwood Lodge number 301 for the high school art department, and $1,260 from Kroger for the 21st Century program. 7.06 tractor sealed bid. A sale of property no longer needed for public use. This is a 1982 International Harvester tractor with a 5-foot belly mower and a 72-inch front end hydraulic angle snow blade. The tractor is being sold as is with absolutely no warranties or promises. It is not running. This would be a great hobby tractor for someone interested in historical machinery, as it's somewhat rare, though it needs a complete restoration. Sealed bids will be accepted until February 1st, 2024. The winning bidder will be notified by phone call. The tractor must be picked up by February 23rd, 2024. If not picked up, the second highest bid will be accepted. The minimum bid is $300. An advertisement of the sale will be in the classified section of the Cincinnati Enquirer, as well as on norwoodschools.org. 2 old snow blowers and 2 gas paint stripers will also be sold by sealed bid, and again, more information is on the district website. So I have a vote box there for 7.01 through 7.06.
I'll move to approve 7.01 to 7.06.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
I hope somebody really loves that tractor.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this. I want to follow this story very.
Every time you talk about the tractor, I can't stop smiling.
It's pretty rough looking.
Anything else? Mrs. Camphouse?
Mrs. Rarica,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor,
Yes.
Mrs. Cole.
Yes. All right, and
And so-
7.07, sorry.
They're okay. 7.07. So finally, recommendation to approve the beautification project bid advertisement. I'm very disappointed to say that last Friday I received an updated estimate for the project that is now outside of our budget. Our new estimate was $1 million higher than last year's estimate. So I am asking the board to vote no on this advertisement. We have met with our architects and have asked them to remove some of the scope on this project so that it will fit within our budget. Our priorities will remain safety, security, and the children's enjoyment of the playgrounds themselves.
Do I have a motion for 7.07?
Do I still say I move to approve?
Yes.
Even though you're asking us.
Yes,
to
and then we
vote
vote no.
Yes, we're approving to put it on the table.
Yes.
I move to approve to put it on the table.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
I guess we vote no.
We're voting no. Mrs. Camphouse?
Mrs. Rarica,
No.
Mr. Taylor,
No.
and Mrs. Cole.
No.
That felt really weird.
Yes, I know. Well, I would have just taken it off the agenda, but it was on the agenda for last week, and so I felt the public needed to know what happened with this, and so this was just the cleanest way to make it stop. And we're working really hard, and I've gotten promises from our architect that the new plans are gonna be really nice also.
And
I'm
we,
excited.
as always, appreciate you keeping us on the up and up.
Thank you.
We want to do
Yes.
things the right way.
I just can't spend more than $1 million over our budget. That's a lot.
No, and we want to make sure that we cleared it
Yeah.
off since it was on last
You
week.
hear that, taxpayers? She's saving you money, not spending.
That's right.
It
We go with our
unnecessarily.
money. Make it stretch as far as we can.
But
All
we're
right.
still gonna have some
Item-
fabulous outdoor stuff, which I'm so excited about.
Yeah.
Item 8 is the hearing of the public, which we no longer have public here. So we will move on to item 9. This is board announcements. Do any board members have anything to share?
I always go blank and forget.
Yeah. Anything going on? I can't.
Norwood Little Indians football and cheer is, registration is open. Get your kiddos signed up, ages 5 through 11.
Our Norwood Orchestra performed for the Women's Club on Tuesday night, and it was really lovely.
fantastic job here tonight as well. All right, item 9.02, this is our superintendent report, so I'm turning it over to Mrs. Ronan.
Thank you, Madam President. As you can see, the annual Alumni Holiday Luncheon occurred again this year. Both Julie and I attended. Santa Claus was there. We did not get to sit on his lap, however. And then, Mr. Doggett, Frank Doggett from the class of 1947 was again here this year, which is wonderful. Everyone is delighted to see him every year. I want to thank the alumni for including us. Sharon Hoffman, of course, emceed. Everyone had a great time. And I do want to thank the alumni for funding the classroom scholarships for projects in the classroom of our teaching staff, and just the many, many other ways they give back to the district. Even, like I said, since 1947, they have been giving back. So it was a truly lovely event. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
9.03, this is the Great Oaks report, and I believe we have Mrs. Rarica filling in for Miss Ballard.
Yes, we have a report. Former Norwood High School teacher Andy, oh gosh, you're gonna have to help me.
Oh, I don't know who that is. I don't know
We're
how to
gonna
say that.
try Hoaxima.
There we go.
Does anybody know? Andy H., currently working as our head of adult education, reported on a grant that will allow for the expansion of 2 programs, practical nursing and power line technician. And thanks to additional state grant funds awarded last month, we will also be expanding our welding and law enforcement programs for next year, as well as developing a new electric vehicle program set to launch for the 25-26 school year. The Great Oaks Board also reviewed the State of the Region report for 2023 from the Cincinnati Chamber of Commerce, and happened to mention 2 Norwood-based companies in their top 10 by name in 2 categories. Cincinnati's region's fastest growing private companies ranking number 3, ProLink, and Cincinnati region's largest minority-owned businesses ranking number 3, Triversity Construction. Apparently those are both in Norwood. Another notable achievement for our part of the state outlined in the region report was the continuing education rankings, boasting 12 local universities. When compared nationally, the Cincinnati region has consistently performed above the national average in educational attainment and continues to grow. From 2012 to 21, our region saw a 23% growth in people over age 25 with a bachelor's degree or higher. Doodly do.
Okay.
Sounds great.
All right, 9.04, this is Norwood Community Television. We do not have an update this month. 9.05 is the OSBA Legislative Liaison. Did Ms. Ballard leave anything for that? Okay. 9.06, Avenues for Success, Mrs. Rarica.
Well, we got a really great donation from Kroger's recently for the Avenues program, and so I'd like to remind you that the Avenues would love you to renew. You have to go in each year on your Kroger card and say which organization you want your money to go to, and I'm sure the Avenues would like you to remember to pick them again so they can get that check again. And I know they're doing fabulous things. My kid came home with a really cute floral arrangement today. I wish I'd brought it. It was super cute. That is all I have.
Okay. All right, item 10 on the agenda, these are the future meeting notifications. At the beginning of the year, we have to do these meetings. We will be starting at 5:30 on Tuesday, January 9th. So we will make sure that Ms. Ballard and Mr. Atwood are aware of that. But at 5:30 on Tuesday, January 9th, we will start off with our Records Commission meeting. And immediately following that, we will have our tax budget hearing, followed by the organizational meeting, and then followed by our committee meeting. So again, all of that Tuesday, January 9th, starting at 5:30, and that will be at the Board of Education in the boardroom over on Williams Avenue. And then Thursday, January 18th, 2024, we will be back in the mini auditorium for our regular board meeting. Do I have a motion to approve the future meetings as listed?
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Mrs. Camp House?
Mrs. Rarica?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Mrs. Cole?
Yes. Oh, and I scrolled wrong. Okay, item 11, again, as usual, we need to appoint a president pro tem to conduct the organizational meeting, which will occur on Tuesday, January the 9th. So any board member can nominate any other board member as a pro tem president.
I will nominate Mrs. Cole.
I was gonna do that. I'll second that.
Okay. Anybody else?
This is all we got.
I know. I'm honored. Any further discussion? Mrs. Camp House?
So in the past, when I call your name, you're just gonna say the person that you want. Our one person that was voted, Mrs. Rarica,
Mrs. Cole.
Mr. Taylor,
Mrs. Cole.
and Mrs. Cole.
Mrs. Cole.
Thank you.
All right. Item 12, this is our closing item, so do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll move to adjourn.
No, second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The time is 6:38. We are adjourned. Thank you.
We didn't do